This stone sword has sat in a general store for 20 years, untouched, unwanted. Everyone thinks it's nothing but a useless piece of junk. Yet I choose to spend every last coin I have to buy it. The people around me laugh and call me brain dead, a total sucker. A sword this fragile would shatter on contact, let alone be used to fight monsters. But I just smile, because I have awakened a mythic tier talent, all refine. It can elevate the quality of any item, once, with no ceiling on how high it can go. With enough luck, even a silver tier item could leap straight to mythic. In my past life, I was one of the 10 greatest warriors in the Draconis Federation, a living god of slaughter. But I was betrayed by my girlfriend Agnier and my sworn brother, who joined forces with powerful allies to ambush and nearly destroy me, all for the supreme artifact in my possession, the Abyssal Ring, a trophy I won alone deep inside the Abyssal Rift, by slaying its most powerful divine beast. It is said to reverse the laws of reality itself, even reconstruct a shattered body. On the edge of death, regret and hatred surge through me in equal measure. If I ever get another life, I will tear every last one of you apart. When I open my eyes again, I find myself back at age 18, the day of the awakening ceremony. On my index finger sits a pitch-black ring. The ancient divine markings carved into it have already faded. The abyssal ring has actually reversed the flow of time. I push down the storm of thoughts raging inside me. This second life, I will rewrite every regret, and Daniel and Agnia will pay with their lives. Host's killing intent has reached critical threshold. Binding the Godslayer class system. Binding complete. One initial spin awarded. Use now. In the next instant, a spinning wheel materializes in my mind, covered in millions of tiny glittering slots. With a single thought, I command it to spin. The needle whirls at blinding speed, and finally, it lands on a golden slot. Congratulations, host, you have obtained the mythic talent, all refine. Any loot dropped inside a dungeon can be upgraded in quality. Each item may be refined, directly or indirectly, only once. I'm stunned. This mythic talent can freely elevate any item's quality. The power of it is almost terrifying. I slowly close my eyes. A status panel rises in my mind. Crest, class, unawakened, talent, all refined, gold tier, skills, Godslayer strike, legendary, phantom step, legendary, mastery, back to basics, skills, total concealment, legendary, eye of insight, legendary. Staring at this panel, the calm I had forced myself to hold shatters. Some of my skills from my past life, they came back with me. At that moment, a bright clear voice rings out behind me. Hey Crest, what class do you think you'll awaken? I turn around, and my breath catches for just a moment. A girl in white stands there, delicate features, a gentle smile, head tilted just slightly to one side. Her eyes hold a quiet light, exactly as I remember. It's Riley, my deskmate. My gaze softens instantly. The final moments of my past life are still vivid in my mind. When I faced a storm of lethal attacks from every direction, Riley was the only one who stepped in front of me, without a thought for her own life. Only in that moment did I understand. She was the only one who had loved me, from beginning to end. She was willing to give her life for me, without a single regret. Seeing her now, 1,000 thoughts flood through me. I have so much to say, and no idea where to begin. Caught under my burning gaze, Riley's cheeks flush pink. Why are you staring at me like that? She has had feelings for me for a long time, and dropped hints more than once, but I always looked past her. She knew the only person I had eyes for was the school beauty, Agnier. Mr. Stoneface finally notices this lady right here. Too late to tell you. She plants her hands on her hips, grinning playfully. In the sunlight, her face seems to glow. What she doesn't expect is what I do next. I step forward and pull her into a tight, fierce embrace. Riley freezes on the spot. Her whole body trembles slightly, her eyes going wide and red-rimmed. She nearly loses her footing. What are you doing? I release her gently, a quiet smile on my face. My awakening is going to be terrifying. Then I turn away. 1,000 words sit in my chest, and I let none of them out. Riley's face burns red. She lowers her head slightly, sneaking glances at my back, still not quite recovered. Next, Daniel, hidden combat class, armor breaker, innate attribute rank, 8 stars. The teacher's announcement sends a wave of gasps through the crowd. An 8-star talent, and Ehrenfall First Academy already has one this early in the year. Not just the students, even the faculty members in the leadership seats react with open delight. Excellent. What a start to the year. I watch Daniel on the stage, my expression unreadable. His awakening is identical to my past life. His family is one of the most powerful in the Draconis Federation. They poured endless resources into him, pushing him to extraordinary heights. And I played my part in that too, in my past life. This time, I have to crush him from the very beginning. This debt of blood will be repaid. Soon it's Riley's turn. She jogs up to the stage and places her palm on the awakening monolith. A pale gray mist rises and slowly coalesces into an ancient scythe, covered in old runic inscriptions. Hidden combat class, soul summoner, innate rank, 7 stars. The hall erupts again. No one expected this. That a girl with such a gentle face would awaken something so dark and violent. Then it's my turn. I walk up to the awakening monolith, draw a slow breath, and press my hand against it. The next instant, the world shifts. A terrifying surge of energy, unlike anything that came before, erupts outward. Every student and teacher is struck with shock. The faculty members in the leadership row, more than 10 of them, tremble visibly. Could this be a talent above 9 stars? Even I'm surprised. My original starting class was supposed to be assassin, but the phenomenon unfolding around me is something no ordinary assassin could produce. Then the system answers, A new class has been bound to you. The terrifying energy in the air gathers and compresses, almost forming the shape of a long sword. The space around its 3-foot blade fractures with hairline cracks. Awakening complete. Mythic class. Blade Saint. My head spins. This is mythic, an entire tier above legendary. No one has ever awakened a mythic class from the start. I must be the first in all of history. I immediately activate my passive skill, Total Concealment, disguising my Blade Saint class as the similar sounding sword channeler. I cannot let anyone know what I truly am. The trouble that would bring is not worth it. The phenomenon around the awakening monolith settles, condensing into a single solid longsword. Every student and faculty member stares up at the massive ethereal blade suspended in the sky, and the entire campus falls dead silent. After a long pause, the awakening teacher struggles to announce the result. Crest. Innate attribute rank, 10 stars. The moment the words land, the hall explodes. 10 stars? What kind of monster is this kid? I thought Daniel's 8-star armor breaker was already insane. And now this? A perfect 10 stars? The teacher continues. Hidden class. Sword channeler. The hall goes quiet for a beat, then erupts all over again. No way! I thought it was going to be a swordsman. How is it a sword channeler? Phew! Almost died of envy. At least the sword channeler balances out those maxed out stats. The crowd murmurs with mixed feelings. A sword channeler looks a lot like a swordsman on the surface, but the two are very different in practice. A swordsman is a pure melee class. A sword channeler, by contrast, excels at both close and long range, a hidden class that develops both physical and magical attacks simultaneously. But its biggest weakness is glaring. It starts out extremely weak. Dual cultivation demands far more attribute investment than a standard class. So in the early stages, a sword channeler lags far behind an ordinary swordsman. I keep my expression flat. If my true class, Blade Saint, were exposed, the consequences would be a double-edged sword. That's not a risk I'm willing to take. The faculty seats are buzzing just as loudly. Good heavens! A hidden class and innate 10-star attributes? You won't find a talent like this anywhere in Ironfall City. Not in decades. Yes, a sword channeler is weak early on, but its late game potential is immense. It just needs an enormous investment of resources to reach its peak. Director Holton, go to the school vault and retrieve a marrow ascension pill immediately. I'm giving it to this student as a reward. Principal Grayson's expression is grave. He waves his hand decisively. The moment I step off the stage, I catch Daniel and Agnia staring at me, visibly shaken. Daniel's fists are clenched. His eyes dark. He's the eldest son of the Daniel family. He was supposed to be the most talented person in this school, and I just took everything from him. He leans in and whispers something to Agnie. Her eyes go wide. Are you sure about this? Relax. You won't have to put up with it for long. A few years at most. Once we've squeezed enough out of him, we'll find an opening inside a dungeon and finish him off. Agnia nods slowly, a cold smile spreading across her face. I watch it all. The distance is too great to hear a word, but I don't need to. I already know. When they notice me looking over, they mistake it for a greeting. Daniel even waves with a smile, every inch the picture of innocence. Agnia tosses her hair and throws me a flirtatious wink, but deep down she's nothing but contempt. A broke fool is still a broke fool. Even with 10-star attributes, he's still crawling after me. Pathetic. But I have lived 2 lives. I see through her completely. Drip with arrogance all you like. You won't survive the night. I walk back to my class with calm, unhurried steps. My classmates immediately swarm around me. A sword channeler may not be the flashiest class, but maxed out stats draw people like moths to a flame. Many push close to flatter me, some even playing up old friendships to get in my good graces. I smile at all of them and let it pass. You can know a face without knowing a heart. This life, I won't trust anyone easily. Riley stands at the edge of the crowd, watching me from a distance with a quiet smile, not a trace of flattery in her eyes. She likes Crest, just him, not anything he comes with. The awakening ceremony continues. Most of the remaining students have ordinary talents. One exception catches my eye. Zane from class 4. He awakens a 9-star hidden class, Demon Hunter. It causes quite a stir, but with my 10 stars already on the board, even a 9-star talent can't make the same kind of waves. I study Zane, lost in thought. In my past life, he died inside the beginner dungeon. After the awakening ceremony ends, I return to my dorm and open my personal status panel. Crest. Level 1. Class, Blade Saint, Mythic Tier, Worlds Only. Strength, 10. Constitution, 10. Agility, 10. Spirit, 10. Luck, 10. Talent, all refine. Primal Sword Soul. Skills, Godslayer Strike. Total Concealment, Phantom Step, Eye of Insight. This is what 10-star full attributes actually means. Every stat starts at 10, a combined total of 50 points at level 1. My base stats already rival some awakened fighters at level 5. I notice an additional talent in my panel. Primal Sword Soul. The moment I read what it does, I feel the air leave my lungs. It allows me to learn any sword skill, ignoring all prerequisite conditions. All sword skill damage, speed, and mastery growth are increased by 300%, and the effect grows stronger as my rank rises. I stare at the numbers in disbelief, setting everything else aside, 3 times the sword skill damage alone. That means even with the most basic iron sword, I'm confident I can solo any monster below level 3, and that's before I even know a single sword technique. And on top of that, I still carry skills from my past life. In practice, I'm almost like a dual-class fighter, and if the sword ever isn't enough, I'll just have to pull out a dagger. Tomorrow morning, the beginner dungeon descends. Every newly awakened player will be pulled in, no exceptions. In my past life, I avoided the hidden boss. It was just too dangerous. But this time, I have to go for it. I'm only just starting out, and I need every resource I can get. A little risk is worth it. I'll go alone, and take down the hidden boss myself. As for Riley, she'll be fine. Based on my past life, she completed the dungeon safely with another group, without a scratch. Now, time to think about revenge. A cold smile pulls at the corner of my mouth as I look down at the message Agnia just sent. Crest, haven't you always liked me? Well, I've changed my mind. I smile to myself. Just like in my past life, down to the letter. These messages, they're exactly what led us to confirm a relationship that very night. I type back immediately. Tonight, rooftop of the main building, come alone. After sending the message, I leave campus and follow my memory straight to a weapon shop. From my past life, I know this shop holds a stone longsword. Shatter the outer stone layer, and the true blade hidden inside is revealed. It's a silver tier longsword, but its rough exterior has kept everyone from seeing its worth. I need to get my hands on it before anyone else does. My arrival stirs up a wave of murmuring among the students already gathered there. They whisper and glance at each other. I ignore all of it and walk straight to the counter. A young woman in her mid-20s steps out of the crowd and blocks my path. She wears gold-rimmed glasses and carries herself with the composed elegance of someone born into wealth. Excuse me, no need to be alarmed. I'm Isabella, Vice Director of the Aurum Consortium. Whatever weapon you purchase today, the consortium will cover the full cost. The entire room of students draws a sharp breath. This is a jaw-dropping offer. Weapon shops are among the most expensive establishments in the world. Ordinary families can't afford to browse here, let alone splurge. I look at her inviting smile and keep my face perfectly still. Full coverage, you say? What exactly do I owe in return, Isabella? My calm response catches her off guard. She had done her research. She knew I was a poor orphan, likely scraping together every coin just to be here. She didn't expect me to be unmoved by an offer like this. It seems Crest is not only extraordinarily talented, he's sharp too. You guessed right. I do need something from you. Isabella smiles and gestures into the crowd. A slender girl in blue steps forward. This is my younger sister Claudia. All you have to do is team up with her and protect her through the beginner dungeon. In exchange, I'll fund any weapon you choose. What do you say? I'm unmoved. I look Claudia over. There's a quiet pride sitting behind her eyes. Her talent may fall short of mine, but she has money. And plenty of it. This kind of arrangement is nothing new to me. Only newly awakened players can enter the beginner dungeon. No family guards or hired muscle can follow them in. That means the second daughter of the Aurum family would be navigating a deadly zone with no protection whatsoever. Naturally, she needs a capable fighter by her side, and I'm an ideal candidate. The thought brings a smile to my face. I rub my chin and put on the most innocent expression I can manage. Alright, then I want the Frostfang Dragon Blade. The moment I say it, Isabella's eyes waver. She clearly didn't expect me to ask for the moon. The Frostfang Dragon Blade, a diamond tier weapon, the crown jewel of this shop, is priced at tens of millions of advent coins. Even someone of her wealth can't produce that on the spot. She had assumed a silver tier weapon would be more than enough to satisfy a sheltered penniless student like me. The watching students exchange surprised glances. Is this guy serious? That's a bold ask. Sure, he's the top new talent in terms of stats, but don't forget, his class is a sword channeler. It's notoriously weak in the early game. That's a diamond tier weapon. Whether he can even equip it is a real question. Isabella's eyes flash with a flicker of embarrassed annoyance. I backed her into a corner in public. Her expression firms. Are you being serious? I meet her gaze with wide, guileless eyes and nod. Of course I am. Is something wrong with that? The act makes Isabella's teeth clench, but she can't let it show. For a businesswoman, weighing costs against benefits is everything. Her family has wealth, but not infinite wealth to throw away. Finally, she lets out a quiet sigh. I'm sorry, Crest. Could you choose something else? The Frostfang Dragon Blade is simply too expensive. Honestly, I don't think your current combat value justifies an investment of that size. If you chose a silver tier weapon instead, I'd be happy to agree. She gives me a polished professional smile. I shake my head, my tone flat and final. Then forget it. It's that sword or nothing. Isabella's brow creases slightly. A flicker of displeasure crosses her eyes. Are you sure? My expression doesn't shift. Certain. Her gaze turns cold. She gives a small shake of her head. Fine then. Claudia, let's go. Claudia gives me a measured look. This is the first time she's ever seen her sister lose ground in a negotiation. It leaves her with an impression she didn't anticipate. This classmate isn't just extraordinarily talented. His mind is something else entirely. Once they leave, I let out a slow breath. I never had any intention of accepting, but a flat refusal would only invite more pressure. Asking for the Frostfang Dragon Blade was the cleanest way to make them back off. Besides, I'm planning to go solo into the most dangerous zone in the dungeon to take on the hidden boss. Bringing Claudia along to babysit would make that impossible. I push through the crowd and walk up to the counter alone. I catch a female attendant's eye. Take down that stone sword for me. The attendant pauses, then follows my finger upward. There, behind the wall display case, hangs a lumpy gray mass of stone, pitted, ugly, barely resembling the rough shape of a longsword. It looks less like a weapon and more like an unfinished rock. You'd struggle to hurt someone with it even if you tried. The attendant blinks, clearly baffled. Are you certain you want this one? I nod. She sighs and taps through a few commands on the display screen, lowers the case and presents the stone sword to me. I grip the stone sword and weigh it in my hand. A faint golden light flickers through my eyes as Eye of Insight scans the weapon in an instant. Stone husk, silver tier, dropped by a beast inside an F-rank dungeon, contains a silver tier blade sealed within. In my past life I watched a student buy this sword. Inside the dungeon he accidentally shattered the stone casing, and only then did the real blade reveal itself. That's how I knew. Not bad at all. What's the price? I ask, holding the sword in one hand. Per our manager's policy, on Awakening Day, all newly awakened players receive a discount based on their attribute rank. Anyone with 5 stars or above gets weapons at 50% off. This stone sword is normally 1,000 advent coins. At your discount it comes to 500. I give a small nod. That's within what I can manage. Other silver tier weapons typically start at around 10,000. If the stone casing were broken, this one would be worth at least 10 times more. And my entire savings at this moment, exactly 500 coins. The transaction goes through and the sword becomes mine. Thank you for your purchase. The attendant gives a small bow, a perfectly practiced smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. The watching students are floored. Has he lost his mind? Sure, it's cheap, but can you actually kill anything with a rock? Buying this is basically suicide. But one bespectacled student in the crowd pauses to think. Stone weapons drop in dungeons all the time. Normally they're garbage, one hit and they crumble. But there's an extremely small chance a stone weapon is actually a sealed blade, with real value hidden inside. Is he actually trying to gamble on that? His words don't calm the crowd. If anything, they only draw more ridicule. My father is a blacksmith. I know exactly how low those odds are. I'd bet every stone weapon in this entire shop put together wouldn't produce a single decent blade. Spending 500 advent coins on odds like that? He's just a fool. I let the chatter wash over me, then stop walking. A slow smile pulls at the corner of my mouth. Anyone want to make a bet? If I break this sword open and a real blade comes out, you give me 3,000 advent coins. If not, I give you 5,000. Any takers? My voice carries across the entire shop. Students, staff, even the attendants, all stare at me like I've gone completely mad. The odds of a sealed blade are 1 in 1,000. Maybe 1 in 10,000. Not even their manager or the most seasoned blacksmiths have spotted anything special about this stone, and yet I'm willing to bet on it. It's practically handing money away, and students rush forward, eager to get in on it. A broad-shouldered student beats everyone else to the front, practically beaming like he's already won. I'll take that bet. I give a small nod and run Eye of Insight over him. Bruto, level 1. Class, Iron Vanguard. Skill, Full Force Cleave. A familiar face. On campus, this guy is notorious. A bully who makes life miserable for anyone without money. In my past life, he stabbed me in the back during the beginner dungeon. Setting him up for this one, I feel zero guilt. Let's make it official. With a thought, a contract panel materializes between us, the terms of the bet laid out in full. Once both parties sign, there's no going back. Even if I win, I only get 3,000. If I lose, I'm out 5,000, and the odds of a sealed blade are sky low to begin with. By any measure, this bet looks like a terrible deal for me. The students watching are stunned. He's actually doing this? With an official contract? If he can't pay up, the interest will spiral, and with a binding contract, no one can back out. Bruto stares at the contract, briefly hesitant, then makes up his mind. The odds are overwhelmingly in his favor. What kind of man backs down from a bet like this? Besides, 3,000 advent coins is pocket change for his family. Putting me in my place is reason enough. He signs his name on the contract without hesitation. Bruto folds his arms and smirks. Go on then. Smash your little rock. Though honestly, I wonder if a broke fool like you can even scrape together 5,000 to pay me. He doesn't get to finish the sentence. His smug grin dies on his face, replaced by pure speechless shock. Because in that instant, I bring the stone sword down and shatter it. Clean and decisive. A sharp crack rings through the entire shop. Every person in the shop freezes. The noise dies. The chaos turns to complete silence. Stone fragments fall away. And there it is. An ancient-looking black steel sword. 3 feet of dark blade, threaded with deep crimson veins that seem to pulse like flowing blood. Crimson-veined iron sword. Silver. Lower grade. Special trait Blood Drinker. Wounding a monster allows the blade to absorb its blood and restore the wielder's health. Eye of Insight pulls up the full details. I'm more than satisfied. A weapon that heals me every time I wound an enemy. It's like carrying a personal medic into every fight. Every bystander looks like they've been struck by lightning. After a long silence, one student finally manages to speak. He actually pulled out a sealed blade, and from the look of it, that's at least silver tier. Bruto's face drains of color the moment he sees it. He takes an involuntary step back, barely able to process what he's looking at. No way. The words come out after a long, painful pause. He thought this was going to be his moment, and instead, he's been played completely. I keep my expression neutral and extend my hand toward him, as though this was always the only possible outcome. Pay up, Bruto. He grinds his teeth and forces out the words. Lucky break. Then he transfers 3,000 advent coins from his account to mine. There's no way around it. A signed contract is binding law in this world. No one, not even the most powerful figures alive, can break it. Miss a payment, and the interest compounds by the second. He has no choice but to pay now. I walk out of the weapon shop at an unhurried pace, expression as calm as it's been all along. Bruto watches me leave, his face cycling between pale and flushed, on the verge of erupting. His voice comes out low and shaking. Crest, I won't forget this. Back in my private dorm room, I set the sword down in front of me and activate All Refine. A sacred golden radiance flares to life, and the sword begins to transform before my eyes. Bloodthirst Blade. Silver. Upper grade. Blood Drinker. Wounding a monster restores health. Blood Kill. Slaying a monster temporarily raises all attributes by 5 points for 30 seconds. I'm genuinely astonished. The talent lives up to its name. A direct jump from lower silver to upper silver, and a whole new special effect unlocked alongside it. The blade itself has changed too. heavier, sharper. You can feel the difference just holding it. I glance out the window. Night is fallen. That means it's time to meet Agnie. I leave the dorm alone. Moments later, I stand on the rooftop, a plain dagger tucked in my pocket. Godslayer strike reaches its full potential with a dagger. With a sword, the power drops significantly. I'm going to kill Agnie with my strongest move. Crest, did you really have to pick somewhere this out of the way? Agnie strides in, wearing a sleek black dress, barely concealing her impatience. I said I changed my mind, but I'll need to put you through a trial period first before I decide anything. It all depends on how you perform. She finishes with a slow, knowing smile. I laugh inwardly, cold and quiet. A trial period. Let's call it what it is. Stringing me along like an obedient servant. Fight around the clock inside dungeons, then hand over most of the rewards. Looking back now, I was utterly and irredeemably stupid. I handed her most of everything I ever earned. My smile under the moonlight takes on something bloodthirsty, and Agnia feels it. A chill runs down her spine. Why are you smiling like that? She senses that something has shifted in me, something she can't quite name or place. I walk toward her without expression. With each step closer, she feels it more clearly. A killing intent radiating off me like cold steel. Something is wrong. She starts to panic. Crest, stay back, don't come any closer. She raises her hands and takes a slow step backward, bracing herself. I don't acknowledge her at all. I explode forward in a single burst and pull the dagger from my pocket. The moment she sees the dagger, Agnie's eyes go wide with pure terror. She never imagined I could be this ruthless. And now she finally understands why I chose somewhere this isolated to meet. In desperation, she snarls, "You dare touch me? Daniel will make you pay for this." I let a look of deliberate confusion cross my face and stop walking. Why would you bring up Daniel? My reaction convinces her she has rattled me. Daniel's family is one of the 3 most powerful in the Draconis Federation. Even a 10-star talent can't stand against that kind of force. Fine, I'll tell you. Daniel sent me to get close to you. You've probably figured it out by now, so I'll drop the act. Did you really think a penniless nobody like you could make a lady like me change her mind? And you want to kill me? How laughable. Just the mention of Daniel's name is enough to stop you cold. She stands there dripping with arrogance, her smile ice cold and merciless. But what she gets is not what she expects. I don't tremble. I don't flinch. My voice when it comes is perfectly calm. Good. Are you ready to die? She goes still. She thought the name had frozen me in place. That's exactly why she let herself be so vicious with her words. I dare you to actually try. She never finishes the sentence. I move. My entire body becomes a streak of blood-red light, a surging torrent that swallows Agnier whole in an instant. She feels as though she's been plunged into an ocean of blood and mountains of corpses, surrounded by endless, wailing souls. The blade draws a perfect line across her throat. All that remains in her eyes is disbelief. Every ounce of her arrogance vanishes. Her body crumples. I look down at her body. There is a fierce satisfaction in my chest, and beneath it a wave of exhaustion. My mind goes hazy. The warning signs of spirit energy depletion. Godslayer strike still costs too much. At my current level, I can't even use it at full power. After a brief rest, I crouch down and find Agnie's phone in her pocket. I delete every message between us, then crush the phone in my hand with a sharp crack. The moment I return to my dorm, I find a box sitting outside the door, a letter on top, signed by Principal Grayson. Inside the box are 2 items. Marrow Ascension Pill, gold, mid-grade. When consumed, it cleanses the body at its core and raises physical attributes. Effective only once per person. Current market value 200,000 Advent coins. Serpent Scale Shadow Armor, silver, mid-grade, crafted by a master armorsmith. Silent as a whisper when worn, and tough enough to resist claws, blades, and other sharp-edged attacks. Market value, 5,000 Advent coins. My eyes sharpen. Grayson doesn't hold back. Not only a Marrow Ascension Pill, but a defensive armor piece as well. He's clearly trying to invest in my protection as best he can. Unfortunately, both items were crafted by smiths and alchemists here on Primara, using conventional materials, not dungeon loot. All refined doesn't work on them. I turn to the letter. Hello, Crest. My name is Grayson, principal of Arenfall First Academy. The Marrow Ascension Pill inside is a gift from the school. The armor is from me personally. I've also increased your scholarship for this year to 10,000 Advent coins. You may one day stand somewhere very high above the rest. Whatever happens, when that day comes, please don't forget where you started. Wishing you every success. This is an investment, but what Grayson is after is not a short-term return. He's betting on who I'll become. That kind of foresight puts him in a completely different league from a short-sighted schemer like Agnie. I swallow the Marrow Ascension Pill without hesitation. A soft glow radiates from my body. Constitution plus 10. Experience plus 100. Rank advances to level 2. 10 free attribute points awarded. I stand and look over my panel. I pour all 10 points into agility. A sword class lives and dies on speed and fluidity. Not so different from the assassin I was in my past life. Then I lie down, close my eyes, and let sleep take me. Godslayer strike drained a heavy toll from my body. I need rest before I can be at full strength again. When I wake, it's already the next morning. A column of deep blue light engulfs me the moment I open my eyes. In the next instant, my body vanishes from Primara. When I open my eyes again, I'm standing in a forest. The vegetation hums with a dangerous, wild energy. I draw the bloodthirst blade and move forward. A scream pierces the undergrowth ahead. A female player's body drops from the trees. The wounds on her body point clearly to a carnivorous ape. Then a roar tears through the air. A massive, grotesque ape drops from the branches above, both arms locked together, swinging down like a hammer aimed straight at me. I sidestep with a sharp pivot, barely clearing the impact. I saw this coming. The monster used the body to draw my attention, baiting an ambush, so I let it. I played along and let it commit to the strike. I swing back immediately, bringing the blade down on the ape's skull, carving a massive gash across it, but it doesn't go down. It lets out a howl and lunges at me again. I'm surprised. I haven't used a single skill, but I'm swinging a silver upper-grade weapon with maxed out strength and agility behind it. An ordinary monster should not still be standing. Eye of Insight. Bloodclaw Ape King. Level 3. Strength 28. Constitution 24. Skill Ground Slam. That explains it. This isn't a standard carnivorous ape, it's the Ape King. No wonder its size dwarfs everything else of its kind. The moment its attack comes crashing down, I vanish and reappear directly behind it. Phantom Step at my current level still grants full invisibility. With speed so extreme it evades nearly any attack. The catch? It lasts only a heartbeat, and the cost is enormous. I appear behind the Ape King and drive the blade clean through the back of its skull, straight into its brain. A perfect kill. A screen materializes before me. Beast defeated. Loot, horizon cut, bronze, lower grade, skill scroll. Not bad. It's only bronze tier, but it suits my class, and that's what matters. A message flashes across the global channel. A sword channeler from the Draconis Federation has scored the first kill. That player receives the title, First Blood. All players across the Draconis Federation receive one healing potion, and just like that, a recovery vial drops into every player's hand across the nation. The global channel erupts. Wait, a Draconis Federation player got the first kill this year? A sword channeler? Could it be that Crest kid from Arenfall First Academy? The 10-star one? Then again, there are several sword channelers across the nearby cities this year. Could be anyone. My status panel updates. A new title slot appears. First Blood, permanent bonus, all attributes +5. I look down at the skill scroll in my hand. Bronze tier, but I can refine it. With a single thought, the scroll transforms. It becomes a silver tier skill scroll. Draw slash, silver, lower grade, return the blade to its sheath, focus the mind. One motion, one cut. I can't help but feel a surge of excitement. That jumped 2 sub-tiers in one refine. I use it immediately. The technique surges through me. A sharp ringing blade cry fills the air as my entire body becomes a sweeping arc of deep blue light, cutting sideways in a single fluid motion. Wherever it passes, a clean groove is carved into the earth. A tree half a meter wide is sliced clean in two at the trunk. I'm taken aback. A standard silver tier skill should not hit that hard. This must be primal sword soul at work. Triple the power and speed of every sword technique. It really is something else. I push deeper into the dense forest. A few small mutant creatures dart out along the way, all of them cut down without effort. Before long I hit level 4. Compared to other newly awakened players, I'm already at a terrifying height. I look into the distance, expression focused. The hidden boss is located beyond the Crimson Rock Cavern, and it's still going to take some time to get there from where I am. I push forward at full speed. Every monster I encounter is wiped out without hesitation. Loot pours in and fills my inventory. The slaughter continues, and I reach level 5 in no time. Several new skill scrolls drop along the way. One of them, a basic sword technique at bronze lower grade, becomes the Thunderstrike blade art at silver mid grade after all refine. I grin and crush the scroll in my palm. The moment I do, crackling lightning coils around the bloodthirst blade. It's like an enchantment. The sharpness and striking power of the blade jump up by an entire level. A gray-backed wild wolf bursts out of the undergrowth and charges straight at me. I raise my blade and cut. Lightning blazes across the wolf in an instant, and it drops dead. Just as I move to sheathe the sword, a chorus of howls erupts from deep within the forest ahead. My grip tightens. I look, and dozens of gray-backed mutant wolves close in from every direction. Fast, claws like steel, capable of tearing a human body apart with ease. A chill runs through me. My luck could not be worse right now. This is a small beast hide at the very least. Any ordinary squad of new players hitting this would be dead before they knew what happened. For a moment, I weigh my options. Phantom Step could get me out. The wolf numbers can't stop a clean break. But all that experience, I really don't want to walk away from it. I run my tongue across my lips. A sharp, hungry look crosses my eyes. Eye of Insight scans the pack. Their agility is impressive, but still a notch below mine. I decide to fight. With the bloodthirst blade in hand, every kill restores my condition on the spot. If I wipe out this entire pack, I'll gain several more levels at minimum. I roar and charge forward, unleashing draw slash. The wolves show no fear. They have the numbers, and the forest fills with their overlapping howls from every direction. I swing, lightning wrapped around the blade. My movements so fast they blur. Fast as the pack is, their movements are child's play compared to my swordsmanship. Thunderstrike blade art and draw slash together. The combined power multiplies rapidly. In just a few breaths, several wolves are already down, and my experience total keeps climbing. I move like a machine, cold-faced, relentless, blade rising and falling without pause. Before long, not a single one is left standing. Then something new crashes out of the trees, a massive wolf. Fur so silver white it seems bathed in moonlight, frame towering above the rest of the pack. It's in a completely different league. Its speed is terrifying. It closes the gap in an instant, and before I can react, it grazes my arm. 2 long gash marks. Blood flows freely. Another half second slower and I might have lost the arm entirely. Eye of Insight. Now, Silverback Wolf King. Level 6. Skills, Silver Claw / Fang Rip Rapid Charge. The Wolf King circles me with predatory focus, lining up its next strike. I stare it down, expression flat. I sheathe the sword. Then I step forward, choosing to attack first, even while bleeding. Because in that last exchange, draw / reach max mastery and upgraded into flash draw, silver mid-grade. I grip the blade tight. Spirit energy surges through my hand and into the sword, and in an instant the entire blade blazes with crackling arcs of lightning. The next moment, I become a streak of deep blue lightning, blade trailing a line of pure light as I cut straight through. The slash is too fast. The Wolf King doesn't even have time to react before it hits the ground. Dead. Wolf King slain. Experience plus 500. Flash draw mastery plus 145. Thunderstrike blade art mastery plus 100. Loot, Iron Cleave bone splitter. Wolf King's heart. The remaining wolves freeze, then panic. The more cowardly ones are already turning and bolting. I give chase instantly, moving like a phantom through the pack. Not one escapes. Every last wolf falls to my blade. My level jumps straight to 10. The speed of it is simply unmatched. Rank up quest, slay the Guardian of Crimson Rock Cavern. Reward, advance to first rank Blade Saint. When ordinary players complete their rank up quest, they can choose their first true class. Sword Shield Fighter, Duelist, Blade Technician, and so on. For me, it's different. The Blade Saint is already the highest class in existence. There is only one path. Push forward, deepen the attributes, and strengthen the skills. No branching, no choosing. I open my status panel and pour most of the attribute points into agility, with some going into spirit. Skills all draw on spirit energy, and I can't afford to let it run dry. Agility breaks through 100. Blade Saint class skill unlocked. Sword Dance Master, Platinum, lower grade. You may equip any sword type weapon regardless of level or class requirements. All sword weapons in your hands double in sharpness. My eyes flicker. That's a powerful effect. It means I can equip the highest tier sword weapons in the game. Right now, I have a solid set of skills at my disposal now. It's time to take on the Crimson Rock Cavern. I follow the route I remember and move out. Once the hidden boss falls, the dungeon will conclude. With that thought, I activate total concealment, hiding my kill count and level entirely. Once active, even the dungeon's absolute system cannot track it. That means I won't appear on any leaderboard. Exactly what I want for now. But no matter how deep the concealment, when the dungeon concludes, the true rankings will surface, and when they do, my results will shake the world. For now, I need to stay quiet. When I face the hidden boss, I cannot afford any complications. At the same time, inside a conference room at Ironfall First Academy, the school's senior staff stand in tense silence, every eye fixed on the screen in front of them. Beginner Dungeon 144. Leaderboard. First place level 8 Lucas, second level 7 Zane, third level 6 Player A. Strong new talents from Ironfall and the surrounding cities fill the rankings, but there's no crest, not anywhere in the top 500. What's going on? His class may be a sword channeler, but his stats are maxed. Even if his skills aren't there yet, sheer force should be enough to clear a few kills. How is he not even in the top 500? Principal Grayson stands with his arms crossed, expression grave. He has made a significant investment in Crest, and everything he expects in return depends on Crest growing into who he's meant to become. If Crest dies in the beginner dungeon, it would be a heavy blow to Ironfall First Academy. A woman walks into the conference room. She stands with her hands behind her back, face unreadable. Grayson rises immediately, and the other staff members bow. Deputy Mayor, welcome. The woman gives a small nod. It's Victoria, the current Deputy Mayor of Ironfall City. I heard your school produced some exceptional talents this year. That's why I'm here. And yet I can't find the student you mentioned, Crest, anywhere on that leaderboard. Sweat beads on Grayson's forehead. My apologies, Deputy Mayor Victoria. There is one detail I didn't mention. Crest's class is a sword channeler. Its early game combat strength tends to be on the weaker side. Grayson doesn't get to finish. Even for a sword channeler, even accounting for a weak early game, there is no way he should be this far behind. Not even in the top 500 of a single dungeon? Grayson and the other faculty members all feel the pressure bearing down. None of them can make sense of it. Could Crest's luck really be that terrible? Dropped right into a monster cluster and killed on arrival? Please don't be alarmed just yet, Deputy Mayor. Beyond Crest, we have other strong prospects this year. Zane, 9-star talent, hidden class, Demon Hunter. He's our biggest surprise this year outside of Crest. Currently sitting in second place and fighting strong. He's our best candidate to challenge Lucas from Stonereek City. And there's a young woman who awakened the hidden class Soul Summoner, 7-star talent. She's got real potential. Currently ranked 19th. And Daniel, eldest son of the Daniel family, 8-star innate talent, hidden class armor breaker, currently 4th. Grayson rattles off the list one by one, covering every standout student the school has produced this year. Victoria's expression stays even. She gives a small nod. This Zane, he is genuinely impressive, a real dark horse. But that new talent from Stonereek City, Lucas, is something else entirely. 10-star innate talent, hidden class Blade Berserker. He is the defining genius of this generation. All I'm asking is for one player from Ironfall to keep up with him, or at least not lose by too much. If Ironfall finishes at the bottom this year, we'll forfeit our eligibility to join the Pillar Alliance next year. A shadow of worry crosses Victoria's eyes as she finishes. And at this very moment, I'm still deep in the dungeon, tearing through everything in my path until I finally reach the entrance to the Crimson Rock Cavern. Without warning, a cluster of goblins comes charging out of the cavern. Small, foul-smelling things. A few lightning-laced swings of the blade, and they're all dead before they can do a thing. Then a thunderous crash echoes from deep inside, and a massive shape tears out from within. Muscles like coiled iron chains, deep green skin, a hybrid of lizard and goblin, massive and brutish, but less cunning than its smaller kin. The goblin warchief stares at the bodies of its fallen kin on the ground, and unleashes a howl that shakes the air. It charges, its massive club swinging in a wide, sweeping arc. I keep my expression steady and my movements calm. I slip to the side with a light, precise step. This warchief's strength stat is off the charts, thick-skinned and hard to put down. I'll need to use my agility to wear it down before I can finish it. After missing its first strike, the warchief doesn't slow. It just keeps charging, clubs smashing the ground around it, flinging debris in every direction, toppling trees one after another. I stay completely composed. No matter how the warchief attacks, it can't land a single hit, not even the edge of my sleeve. Gradually, the warchief's stamina runs low. It roars, and chooses to use its skill. The next instant, a torrent of venom blasts from its mouth at terrifying speed. Every tree it touches wilts, leaves shrivel and fall. I face it without flinching. Lightning floods into the bloodthirst blade. I activate Flash Draw, and charge straight into it head-on. A suicidal charge. No human body can survive that level of concentrated venom. A grotesque smile twists across the warchief's ugly face, but the smile dies in the next instant. Because in that fraction of a second, I activate Phantom Step. My entire body seems to vanish from the world, dissolving into a blurred shadow that passes straight through the torrent of venom alongside the blade. In the same breath, I pass clean through the warchief. A deep blue arc of swordlight cuts through its neck, and the goblin warchief collapses. Elite monster slain. Goblin warchief. Rank up quest complete. First rank Blade Saint achieved. All attributes plus 10. Experience plus 1000. Level advances to 11. Primal Sword Soul strengthened. Sword skill damage, speed and mastery growth now increased by 10 times. Bonus awarded, 1 spin on the reward wheel. Silver mid-grade loot obtained. Goblin Warchief's treasure map. Silver mid-grade sword skill scroll quantity 1. A parchment map drops into my hand. I look it over, genuinely surprised. A treasure map was the last thing I expected to find here. I apply All Refine to it immediately. Upgrade successful. Goblin Warchief's treasure map. Gold, lower grade. There are many goblin warchiefs, but only one goblin king. Want my treasure? I've buried it all in one place. Go find it. The other piece of loot is the silver mid-grade sword skill scroll. I apply All Refine again, and this time it jumps straight to gold upper grade, just one tier below platinum. Skill learned, sword command, gold, upper grade. A slow smile crosses my face. Of all the skills to land, this one is perfect. It'll make my disguise as a sword channeler completely convincing. With a thought, the bloodthirst blade begins to tremble, then hums, then lifts off entirely. It orbits me, spinning and striking with precision, as if it were an extension of my own arm. The downside. When the sword is in flight under mental control, Flash Draw and Thunderstrike blade art can't be used. But as mastery grows, anything becomes possible. I call to the system, and the familiar spin wheel rises in my mind. The needle launches into motion. It stops on a legendary talent. Passive mastery legendary tier obtained. All skills will now continuously and automatically grow in mastery at all times. I stare at the description, genuinely stunned. I get stronger just by existing. I move to step into the crimson rock cavern and stop. Footsteps behind me. The next instant, an arrow screams through the air, aimed straight at the back of my head. I tilt my head just slightly, and the arrow misses clean. A cold, killing intent ignites behind my eyes. From the craftsmanship of that arrow, there's no question. This was a human ambush. 4 figures step out of the undergrowth, each armed differently. An Iron Vanguard, a Ranger, and 2 mages, and the one I least expected to see, Bruto, is among them. Of all people, of all places, Bruto's face splits into a vicious grin. He had been imagining this moment ever since he lost. Exactly what he'd do to me if he ever crossed my path inside the dungeon. What a lucky break. Bruto's eyes burn with naked, undisguised, killing intent. His teammates raise their weapons and lock into combat stance. You really think the few of you can take me down? I scan the group, my voice flat and utterly calm. Not a trace of fear. Boss, this guy doesn't look easy, one of the mages murmurs, swallowing nervously. The ranger beside her lets out a cold laugh. Flora, don't sweat it. He's just putting on a front. Let me be straight with you, Crest. Bruto's already hit level 7. The rest of us are at level 5, each packing 2 skills. What's a sword sovereign like you going to do against that? I just smile. Feel free to find out. The ranger moves first. Bow drawn, an arrow wrapped in dark red light screams toward me. I watch it come and don't move an inch. It's a tracking arrow. Dodge all you want, it follows. So instead I swing my sword and slice it clean in 2 midair. I plant my foot and surge forward. Lightning crackles along my blade. The strike is almost too fast to see. Before anyone can react, I'm already in front of the ranger. One thrust to the throat and it's over. The other 3 freeze. They never expected me to move that fast or strike that ruthlessly. Without a moment's hesitation, anger flares among the survivors. The male mage finally triggers his skill. A fireball the size of a basketball materializes in the air and comes hurling at me. I feel nothing but boredom. These guys are too weak. Fighting them is a waste of my time. My expression goes cold. I activate Draw and Flash, and in the next instant I'm a blur of motion. The fireball shatters into smoke before it even gets close. Without slowing down, I streak across the air like a blue slash of light, straight through the mage's body. 1 strike. Done. Flora and Bruto are stunned. 1 skill, 1 kill. full health and all. The stats behind that kind of power are absolutely terrifying. From start to finish, I've only swung twice, 1 kill per strike. That kind of strength is just absurd. Could my level actually be higher than Bruto's? Neither of them can bring themselves to believe it. Flora, don't be scared, it's just good gear, Bruto roars. He knows this is now a fight to the death, so he pushes forward no matter what. Flora nods, raises her staff, and begins channeling her energy. A water spear slowly forms and hovers in the air. Bruto's massive frame lunges forward, kicking up a cloud of dust. His ancient shield locks into a barrier around him, and in the same motion his right hand drives a heavy cleaver straight down at me. I watch that gleaming blade without flinching. One simple lean, the strike misses. I spin around and thrust back in a single lightning-fast motion. Bruto's scalp prickles with dread. He scrambles to raise his shield. It takes the hit, but the force sends him flying backward along with it. Bruto is shaken to his core. A basic attack, just a normal swing, and it's already blown through most of his HP. He's a tank warrior, famous for his massive health pool. It only hit his shield, so how was it that powerful? He turns it over in his head and can only blame my weapon. Bruto grits his teeth and crushes a necklace on his chest. A strange force shoots out and wraps around my blade. The bloodthirst blade tears free from my grip and hangs suspended in the air, out of my reach. Bruto smirks, feeling like he's finally got the upper hand. You really made me dig deep, Crest. That necklace was a one-time item. Hurt the wallet even for someone like me. But it works, and that's what matters. You're done. Seizing the opening, Flora strikes. The water spear launches from the air and rockets toward me. A flash of triumph crosses Bruto's eyes as if I'm already a corpse. But in the very next instant, the suspended blade trembles, as if an invisible hand has just closed around its hilt. Then it slashes down at an angle and shatters the water spear. I haven't moved a muscle. The bloodthirst blade spins and flies back to me, hovering quietly in the air at arm's length. Bruto goes pale as stone, his voice trembling. That's a late-game skill. How does Crest already have it? My expression is ice cold. I point at Bruto from across the field. The bloodthirst blade shoots forward like a black shadow. Bruto scrambles to resist, managing 2 desperate blocks before the blade finds his throat. Even in death, his eyes are frozen in shock. The last one standing, Flora, loses all color in her face and drops straight to the ground, trembling all over. I was wrong, please don't kill me, I'll do anything. But looking at her, I simply shake my head. Some mistakes can't be walked back. I raise my blade and end it, defeating a 4-man squad, plus 2,088 XP, level up to 12. I turn toward the depths of Scarlet Rock Cavern. Time to go in. The inside of Scarlet Rock Cavern is pitch dark. Swarms of bats flicker through the shadows. The atmosphere is deeply unsettling. I pull out the Goblin King's treasure map and study it. The plan, grab the loot first, then go hunt the hidden boss. I follow the map's coordinates deeper in. Mutant frogs and the occasional dark feather oarclaw dart out at me, but I cut them down without breaking a sweat. I hit level 13 along the way. Suddenly the tunnel opens up ahead. The stench is overwhelming, almost enough to form swamp gas. Goblin lair, I realize. I've walked into somewhere truly foul. Stepping inside, the sight hits me like a wall. Dismembered human limbs are scattered across the ground. Player squads have clearly met a brutal end here. Deep in the lair, a female player is bound and covered in wounds. At the sound of my footsteps, she barely opens her eyes, then her gaze snaps wide. Sir, Crest? I frown slightly and activate my Eye of Insight to scan her profile. It's Claudia, the second daughter of the Aurum Consortium. I didn't expect to run into her here. Crest, please help me. Claudia looks at me like I'm her only hope. Tears welling in her eyes. Her squad fought hard, but every last teammate was slaughtered by the goblins. She's the only survivor. I pause and think. She's a soul drain healer, a rare variant of the healer class. She can absorb the souls of fallen monsters to restore her own energy, then use that soul energy to mend her allies' wounds. The fight against the hidden boss is going to be brutal. A strong support alongside me could make all the difference. I can get you out of here, I say, but I have one condition. Join my squad and follow my lead, no questions asked. Claudia doesn't hesitate for a second. Her head bobs up and down like she's nodding for her life. Claudia joins the squad. I'm set as leader. I lift my blade and slice through the ropes binding her. She struggles for a moment before managing to pull herself upright. Red rope marks cover her body. Her face is pale, and her eyes are rimmed with red. She looks at me like I've just saved her world. What she's been through is horrifying. Captured by goblins, then rescued at the last moment. Anyone would be shaken to tears. Crest, let's get out of here. Now, Claudia urges, her face pale, eyes darting around anxiously. There's a goblin chief in here, that's what killed my teammates. It heard the commotion outside and left, but it should be coming back any time now. I cut her off. Don't worry, I already killed it. She stares at me, speechless. How is that possible? You're alone, no squad, and you're a sword sovereign, the weakest early game class. She can barely believe it. Honestly thinks I'm bragging. She saw firsthand how terrifying that goblin chief was, cutting through normal players one by one like they were nothing. I hold the Goblin King's treasure map out in front of her. Proof. She stares at the map, frozen for a beat. Then the shock hits her full force. Okay, I believe you. That's insane. The Goblin Chief was a level 10 elite, then something clicks. Wait, are you the Sword Sovereign who got the first kill? I give a single nod. She sucks in a sharp breath. There's still a lot of danger in here. Goblins aren't the only ones, plenty of other monster clusters too. We should go. Stop talking, I say. The deal was, you join my squad and follow my orders. I'm going deeper in, and you're coming with me. Say another word about leaving and I'll tie you back up myself. That shuts her up. Claudia nods. She's quietly fuming. What a blockhead. Not even a shred of charm. I'm the second daughter of the Aurum Consortium. A little softness and I'd be his. Doesn't he know what that kind of connection is worth? Dense as a rock. But I'm already walking, not looking back, pressing deeper into the cavern. She glances around. It's pitch black, eerie, and terrifying. She has no choice but to hurry after me, sticking right at my side. We push hard for several hours. Monsters surge out of the dark in wave after wave, but I cut them all down almost as fast as they appear. Claudia is farming XP without lifting a finger. At one point, a small beast tide charges out. I handle it alone without breaking a sweat, walking away with barely a scratch. Claudia has watched every second of it, jaw on the floor. She's completely sold. If I were her enemy, there'd be nothing left of her. I walk up to her. What are you standing there for? Heal me. Claudia quickly activates her skill. A cluster of violet light blooms in her palm and flows into me. The wounds on my arm close up in seconds. The bloodthirst blade does have some healing ability, but it's faint. Nothing compared to a proper healer. That's exactly why I brought her along. What level are you? Thanks to you, I just hit 10. My class advancement quest is up. I need to kill one elite tier monster, she says, a little nervously. Good. I'll get you through it. You're advancing to Soul Mender. She nods, but inwardly she's surprised. He knows exactly what class I'm advancing into. That kind of knowledge takes serious depth. I take her to kill an elite monster, and she completes the advancement. Soul Mender, unlocked. She learns a new skill, Shield Boost. Targeted teammates spend energy and continuously raise their block chance. Before long, we reach the spot marked on the Goblin King's map. It dissolves into a stream of light and sinks into the ground. I activate my Sword Sovereign skill and slash into the earth. A deep pit opens up, and sitting inside is a dark purple chest. Dark purple treasure chest. Gold tier, lower grade. I don't open it yet. Instead, I activate all ascension and upgrade the chest itself. The chest glows with flowing violet light. Its surface now inlaid with clear blue gemstones. Dark Knight chest. Platinum tier, lower grade, opened. Rewards, full Shadow Duelist set, circlet, greaves, bracers, leggings, mantle, plus the Shadow Soul longsword, and one platinum high-grade soul crystal skill scroll. My eyes go wide at the cascade of notifications. A complete platinum set, that's extraordinarily rare. And the sword is mid-grade platinum. My luck is completely off the charts. I equip everything immediately. A longsword materializes before me, dark purple veins running through its body. The hilt is solid, but the blade itself is like a shadow, almost unreal. Shadow Soul longsword, platinum mid-grade. Shadow storage, this blade can be stored inside your own shadow, ready to be summoned at any moment. Soul drain, strike a target's shadow to gradually drain their energy. Dark slash, all attacks with this blade deal an additional 50% shadow damage. Just holding it, I can feel a significant boost across all my stats. Equipping the full Shadow Duelist set transforms my appearance. My outfit shifts into a pale gray robe etched with ancient runes, like moonlight draped across cloth. A pair of gray bracers materializes on my forearms. Shadow Duelist set active. Dark Blade Surge, all sword skills gain an additional 50% shadow damage, which bypasses physical defense. Shadow Strike, when using any sword skill, there's a 60% chance to generate a shadow that delivers one extra slash, equal in power to a normal attack. Reading through the list, I feel a surge of excitement. These effects are seriously powerful. With a thought, I release the Shadow Soul longsword. It drops into the shadow at my feet. Whenever I need it, I can pull it right back out. Claudia stares at my full new set, eyes glazed. Platinum gear sells for at least $1 million on the open market, and even as the second daughter of the Aurum Consortium, that number makes her breath catch. Take this and use it. I toss her the Platinum high-grade Soul Crystal skill scroll. Most players don't learn Platinum tier skills until their 4th or 5th class advancement. You can imagine what that kind of scroll costs. And I just hand it over, no strings attached. Claudia is absolutely floored. You're just giving this to me? This is worth at least $1 million out there. She takes it hesitantly, assuming I must not know its value. But I hold firm, expression flat. There's likely a brutal fight ahead. The stronger your skills, the better our odds. I know exactly how powerful the hidden boss is. One extra skill on Claudia's end could be the margin between winning and dying. She stops arguing and uses it immediately. Skill acquired, Soul Resonance. When activated, all party members gain 200% bonus experience. Claudia lights up. Soul Resonance. That's a late game Soul Mender skill. If we keep partying together, even after splitting, I'll still get full experience. She's practically bouncing. I allow myself a small smile. With this skill, my experience won't be cut by having a party member. For any other team, that would be unthinkable. I lead Claudia onward. We find a small exit inside the cavern. Outside is a vast, sprawling forest. At the heart of the forest lies a massive blood-red lake, its surface churning like boiling crimson water. My expression hardens. In roughly 1 hour, the hidden boss will appear here. I know this because of my past life. Zane, the strongest class advancer at our school in that life, died right here. He was the one who first found the hidden boss. Before he died, he passed me the location through the comms channel. But what killed him wasn't the boss. It was Lucas, the prodigy from the neighboring city, who cut him down. I remember it clearly, and I've been quietly watching out for that ruthless, cold-blooded player ever since. Somewhere else in the instance, a young man grips a narrow-bladed sword. His entire presence radiates danger. In just a few seconds, he cuts down 2 players. He stares at the bodies and smiles, excited. This is Lucas, this year's top player from Wuyang City. Since entering the instance, he's left a trail of carnage, because he discovered that killing high-level players gives more XP than grinding monsters. Chasing the top rank, he chose the most efficient method. No survivors wherever he goes. His leveling speed is terrifying. Already at 13. Right now, a girl in white stands before him, clutching an oversized scythe, struggling to hold on. breathing heavily. It's Riley. Lucas walks toward her slowly, face blank. You're Riley from First High, aren't you? Riley's expression goes cold. How do you know my name? Before the novice instance launched, I got a full list of First High's top talents this year, straight from your principal. I've studied every one of your class aptitudes. This instance is my hunting ground. Every school here has been a disappointment. You're all better off as experience points. Lucas levels his blade and activates his blade reaver skill. Terrifying red slashes bloom in the air and close in on Riley. At the last second, Riley stays completely calm. She spends her final sliver of energy to summon a skeleton soldier to intercept the killing blow, and vanishes from the spot in the same instant. It's her Wraith Caller skill. Wraith Swap. She exchanges positions with the most distant corpse in range. Lucas cuts through air. He spins around and catches only a glimpse of Riley disappearing into the dense trees. A bloodthirsty smile spreads across his face. Run all you want, little lamb. You can't escape. He activates his movement skill and gives chase like a predator on the hunt. Riley sprints through the trees in a panic. To survive, she dives into a cavern. Blood-red rock lines the walls. The place looks deeply wrong, but she's stunned. The cavern has almost no live monsters. Just corpses everywhere. Someone has already been through here. Who could have done this? Not even an elite squad could clear this many monsters. But there's no time to wonder. She runs with everything she has. She can still hear Lucas's footsteps behind her, getting closer. Despair tightens around her. If he catches up, she's dead. Just as Lucas is about to close the gap, a figure appears ahead, grabbing Riley and pulling her into the shadows. She looks. It's a young man in green, a large bow strapped to his back, radiating quiet confidence. It's Zane, a 9-star talent awakener from First High. Thank you, Riley breathes, still catching her thoughts. Don't mention it. We go to the same school. I wasn't going to just watch. I've been watching Lucas for a while. He's unhinged, treats this instance like a playground, hunting everyone in sight. If we don't stop him, First High is going to take even heavier losses. Riley thinks it through. Zane is right. As a Shadow Ranger, a ranged class, going toe-to-toe in melee against a Blade Reaver would be suicide. Waiting for the right moment to strike is the only viable play. What level are you at? 10. I'm working on my class advancement. I need to kill at least one elite tier beast. Riley is floored. That leveling speed is incredible. He might actually be able to take Lucas down. I'll back you up completely. Help me avenge our classmates. Riley's eyes carry a quiet, steady resolve. Follow me. This isn't the right spot to fight. Zane moves out immediately, Riley close behind. While they run, Zane sends me a message. Hey, Crest. It's Zane from Class 4. Lucas, the Blade Reaver from the neighboring city is hunting our schoolmates. Stay clear of him. He's in the Crimson Lake Zone right now. Message sent. Zane pushes hard with Riley, but they barely cover any ground before a streaking blade energy cuts off their path at the edge of the Crimson Lake. They turn. Lucas is walking toward them, expressionless. Did you really think you could outrun me? Once my blade grazes you, I can track your position through the blade energy. His gaze locks onto Riley. We're not getting away. Zane's expression hardens. He raises his bow. Seeing Zane's bow, something sparks in Lucas's eyes. A Shadow Ranger. So you're Zane. Finally. First High's 9-star talent. He licks his lips, eyes gleaming with hunger. A talent like you should be at level 10 already. Killing you will push me to 14. He charges. Zane's killing intent surges. He looses arrow after arrow, each one glinting with cold, sharp light. But as the arrows close in, Lucas doesn't even flinch. He sweeps his blade in a flurry and splits every single one in two. Riley strikes too, spending her energy to summon 3 skeleton archers, who rush forward with their makeshift bows drawn. Lucas remains utterly unmoved. He activates a savage cleaving skill. Multiple blade phantoms flicker into existence in an instant. 5 overlapping slashes tear through the air. All 3 skeleton soldiers are wiped out instantly. Seeing this, Zane immediately throws out his strongest skill. Skill Seal Strike, bronze high grade. Any target hit by it is locked out of their normal skills for a short time. A mercury-like arrow streaks straight for Lucas's throat, but Lucas doesn't dodge. He doesn't even bother. Not bad. Too bad it won't land. He laughs coldly, lifts his blade vertical, and launches it as a streak of light, slicing the arrow clean in half. Zane is stunned. His strongest skill, broken that easily? Is the gap between 10-star and 9-star talent really that wide? Before Zane can even knock another arrow, Lucas is already on top of him, blade driving straight through his chest. Riley watches in horror, all color gone from her face. Fury fills her eyes. She swings her full moon scythe at Lucas. Lucas spins and brings his blade down on her shoulder. She blocks with her scythe, but the force sends her tumbling backward all the same. She coughs up blood, too broken to keep fighting. Lucas looks down at her with cold contempt. So weak. I actually thought this might be fun. Turns out you're all just small fry. What a waste of my time. Time to die. Lucas's eyes go dark. He walks toward Riley, slow and deliberate. Riley's HP is nearly gone. One more strike and she's finished. She bites down, eyes burning with anger. She doesn't want to die, but she's powerless against him. Zane got dragged into this because of her. The guilt and despair are rising fast. Then, a sword cry rings out from the distance. A blade streaks in like a bolt of light, and in an instant, it shatters the blood-red slash Lucas had just launched. The sheer force sends Lucas himself flying. He skids back 3 or 4 paces before he can barely hold his ground. His face goes pale with shock, overpowering his blade energy head-on. That's virtually impossible for any newcomer. The dust clears. A young man in gray robes walks out from the trees, one finger curling. The dark bloodthirst blade spins back and hovers quietly at his side. I take in the scene with a calm gaze. I read the situation in a second, and one thing surprises me. Riley is here too. It seems this life won't play out exactly the same as the last. Crest, Riley's voice trembles, eyes red at the edges. She can barely tell if this is real. It's me. I reach out and gently wipe the blood from her face. A quiet killing intent stirs behind my eyes. Riley's injuries are serious. If I'd arrived any later, I might have lost her for good. Claudia jogs up behind me, raises both hands slowly. A deep violet light flows through Riley's body, sealing her wounds at a rapid pace. Zane stares, completely overwhelmed. A floating blade? That's a late-game sword sovereign skill. How does Crest have it already? 1,000 questions flood his mind. His face twists in pain as he clutches his chest and forces himself upright. A few centimeters closer and his heart would have been gone. Then he watches Claudia reach out without even touching him, and start healing his wounds too. He's stunned. Healing 2 people at once? In the early game, only a class-advanced soul mender can pull off that kind of output. By now, Lucas has steadied himself. The arrogance is gone, replaced by something heavier. He's found a real opponent, and that last strike has left a mark on him he can't shake. There's a notch in his blade. His blade, a gold-tier weapon. What kind of strength, what kind of skill does it take to chip a gold-tier weapon? Are you Crest, the 10-star sword sovereign from First High? He can't help but admit it. Your strength is beyond what I expected. In this instance, you're the only one worth calling my opponent. But that's all you are. You'll die by my blade. Lucas moves without warning. Blood-red light flickers along his blade as he explodes forward. I watch the strike come. My expression doesn't change. What a weak slash, I say, and I mean it. Lucas's eyes darken instantly, daring to taunt him like that. Suicidal. I'll end you in one strike. Let a little sword sovereign learn his place. Against a Blade Reaver's full power strike, I stand completely still and reach up, closing my hand around the bloodthirst blade hovering at my side. In the next instant, lightning erupts, wild and raging. A deep, resonant sword cry fills the air. Lucas sneers at the sight. A sword sovereign choosing to fight me in close quarters instead of keeping distance might as well be handing me your head. But in the very next moment, his expression freezes. My figure becomes a streak of lightning. A brilliant sword trail burns across the air. The speed is absolute. Lucas still doesn't know. He isn't facing a sword sovereign. He's facing a sword god. A thunderous crack rings out. The moment our blades meet, his sword snaps in two. Then a massive gash tears open across his chest. The strike rips right through. He's launched into the air and slams into the ground. He coughs up a mouthful of blood, pure shock flooding his eyes. What was that? It moved so fast he couldn't even follow it. His HP craters almost instantly, like cutting through paper. Riley and Zane stare, frozen. Isn't Crest a sword sovereign? How does his close-range combat look like this? Lucas struggles to his feet, raising his blade, only to find it's completely shattered. He draws a sharp breath, face pale with disbelief. How? He steps back, unable to accept that he's lost. One exchange. That's all it took. His confidence and pride are ground into the dirt. Refusing to accept it, he reaches into his personal inventory and pulls out a red healing potion. His wounds begin closing at a visible rate. That move must have drained you. You can't use it again. You were trying to intimidate me into backing down. I cannot lose. He charges again with the broken blade, activating his strongest skill, Blood Frenzy Slash. The blade becomes a cascade of blood-red light, striking like relentless rain. My expression never changes. Draw and flash. My figure blurs into motion, and I shatter what little remains of his blade. This strike hits even harder than the last. Lucas's eyes fill with something like a raging sea. A stronger strike. There was a stronger one? How is Crest this strong? In the next instant, my blade is at his throat. He desperately raises his sword hilt to block, and it crumbles instantly. He barely manages to stop the strike, but my set bonus activates. A shadow that looks exactly like me materializes behind him, like ink bleeding into the air. The shadow grips a dark blade and slashes down. This strike isn't physical, it's pure shadow damage. Lucas's knees hit the ground hard. He has nothing left. No, this can't be. I haven't lost. His lips tremble. Voice barely a rasp. The light in his eyes fades fast. He can't bring himself to accept it, no matter what. I look down at him, expression unmoved. The top talent of Wuyang City, a 10-star Blade Reaver. That's it? I raise my blade to finish him, but in that split second, a flash of blue light ignites, and he's gone. I stare at the empty ground. A life-saving trinket. Wuyang City really did invest heavily in protecting this guy, but next time, 10 of those trinkets won't save him. If my blade moves fast enough, even a life-saving item won't have time to activate. I'm confident I'll reach that level by the time we meet again. I turn to Riley and the others. You all okay? Riley's eyes well up and she rushes forward, wrapping me in a hug. Claudia watches and presses her lips together. Someone already beat me to it. No wonder he's been so cold to me. But she's not giving up. Where there's a will, there's always a way to steal someone's man. Crest, how are you so strong just now? Riley's shock still hasn't settled. I shrug. He was just weak. Everyone goes a little speechless. If Lucas is weak, who in this world even qualifies as talented? At that moment, a whirlpool opens in the center of the Crimson Lake. A massive knight clad in blood-red armor leaps out. Warning. Hidden boss has appeared. Everyone's face drains of color at the notification. Crest, we need to pull back. The hidden boss is no joke, Zane urges, clearly shaken. No, you two go. Claudia and I are taking it on. Riley looks into my eyes and doesn't hesitate. Then I'm fighting with you. Zane is quiet for a moment, then lets out a helpless sigh. Running now would be pretty cowardly. If you're all staying, I guess I am too. Riley and Zane request to join the party. Accepted. I don't push back. Having Riley and Zane on board wasn't the plan, but 2 more fighters genuinely do improve our odds. The Crimson Armor Death Knight strides across the water toward us, murderous light blazing in both eyes, a massive greatsword in hand. I scan the boss's data. The stats send a chill through me. This is far beyond what I expected. It's beyond the range of an F-tier novice instance boss. This thing rivals an E-tier boss. Any normal newcomer who runs into this dies, full stop. But there's no turning back now. I press my fingers together and focus. The Bloodthirst blade rises from behind me, snaps to point at the Crimson Armor Death Knight, and rockets forward. The Crimson Armor Death Knight lets out a furious roar and slams his blade forward. The Bloodthirst blade is knocked back and driven into the earth, but in the next instant it trembles, pulls free, and flies right back in. Under my mental control, the Bloodthirst blade is relentless. It keeps harassing the knight no matter how many times it gets knocked away. At the same time, I raise my hand and reach. The jet black Shadow Soul longsword rises from my shadow and lands in my grip. Zane steps back and draws his bow, eyes locked on the knight like a hawk, and looses a skill seal arrow, but it barely makes a dent. The arrow can't even break through the boss's defense. It shatters on impact. Riley rushes to my side, chants a spell. 2 undead skeleton soldiers materialize from a dark magic circle. They charge at the boss with ancient swords, fearless of death. They're too fragile. One swing of the great sword and then they're rubble. Claudia's expression is tight. She retreats quickly to a tree behind us and raises both hands, activating shield boost on all 3 of us. I watch calmly. My 3 teammates can't change the fight on their own, but they're all pushing their hardest, and that's enough to slow the boss down. Bit by bit, I'm the one who has to deal the damage. I grip the Shadow Soul longsword, cold light glinting in my eyes, and move in toward the Crimson Armor Death Knight with a strange, fluid footwork. My fighting style looks nothing like a swordsman's, more like a ruthless silent killer. Unpredictable strikes, movements almost weightless. This is what I built in my past life, forged through countless life and death moments. Not a skill, pure battle experience. Intruder, leave the Blood Lake. Get out. The Crimson Armor Death Knight roars and swings his greatsword. I ignore him completely. I activate Thunder Rush Sword Art. Brilliant blue lightning extends along my blade. I angle in and thrust straight at him, meeting force with force. That massive greatsword is stopped dead by what looks like a tiny blade. It can't advance an inch. At the same time, I keep the Bloodthirst blade flying, sweeping it across at the knight's flank. The Crimson Armor Death Knight snarls and is forced to pull back to deal with it. I press the advantage and give him no room to breathe. The Shadow Soul longsword slashes relentlessly while the Bloodthirst blade whirls overhead as support. The assault rains down like a storm. The Shadow Soul longsword carries shadow damage the boss's defense can't resist. The blade slips through like a ghost, slicing directly into the knight's shadow, and the Crimson Armor Death Knight is suddenly overwhelmed, falling back step by step. We have a chance! Riley's eyes light up. She summons another skeleton and sends it charging at the boss's back. Zane's eyes sharpen with killing intent. He draws, activates Skill Seal Arrow. A massive mercury-like projectile launches and drives straight into the boss's eye socket. The boss's skills are sealed, locked out entirely for the moment. Riley's skeleton seizes the opening from behind, stabbing repeatedly with its ancient blade, each hit shaking the boss's massive frame. The boss spins in a rage and shatters the skeleton, but not before it chipped away at his strength. The Crimson Armor Death Knight lets out a howl of pain and staggers back. Yes, keep going and we've got this. Zane's eyes gleam. He keeps firing, arrow after arrow streaming toward the boss. Up ahead, I don't share their optimism. A shadow lingers in my mind. This boss has an absurd amount of HP. I'm barely scratching the surface. We've only shaved off about 10% so far. Zane's Skill Seal Arrow is doing its job, but it can't be chained. The moment its effect fades, the boss is going to be furious. Sure enough, the seal breaks, and the Crimson Armor Death Knight shudders with rage. He swings the greatsword and activates a skill. A devastating shockwave explodes from the blade. The force slams me off my feet and sends me airborne. A wide stretch of ground cracks and tears up at the roots beneath me. I pull myself together mid-air, land hard and steady myself, then refocus and activate Thunder Rush Sword Art. I charge back in and go at him with everything I have. The sword work is fluid to the absolute limit. The set bonus keeps triggering, a jet black shadow lashing out with unexpected strikes. The faster I swing, the higher the chance of triggering Shadow Strike. I have to keep attacking. Offense is my only defense here. Faster and faster, fiercer and fiercer, like wind and thunder combined. And then, in the midst of it all, something clicks. A new sword technique takes shape in my mind. New skill unlocked. Rainstorm Bladestorm. Silver mid-grade. Blade force pours down like a relentless downpour. Launches a massive number of strikes in a short window, winning through sheer speed. My assault surges in intensity. The Shadow Duelist set effects trigger rapidly, and the boss's HP finally starts dropping faster. A few minutes later, it's below 60%. Then the Crimson Armor Death Knight roars. A massive shockwave radiates outward and blasts me back. His eyes glow. His face twists with rage and bloodlust, and both his speed and strength have clearly increased. I'm launched backward, coughing up blood. Phase 2 already, but a wild smile crosses my lips. Phase 2 is actually good news. It means the boss is genuinely enraged. The Crimson Armor Death Knight charges in with a berserk fury, activating his most devastating skill, Earthbreaker Cleave. The wide, blood-red greatsword rises above his head, its blade blazing red. The power is self-evident. I focus and send the Bloodthirst blade flying in to intercept, but the moment it makes contact, it's sent spinning away. The strike trails a blood red beam of light straight at me. I step forward, moving into it, planning to meet it head-on with drawn flash. While he executes Earthbreaker Cleave, the joints in his armor separate and expose flesh. I have to hit that gap and hit it hard. My body becomes a streak of light across the air, draw and flash, full power, and it lands precisely in the gap between his armor plates. The boss's HP drops by more than half in an instant, and I take 0 damage, because in that same moment, I activated Phantom Step and passed straight through his blade. The Crimson Armored Death Knight's voice shakes with fury. The great sword in his grip transforms, reshaping into a massive hammer, and he launches his final assault. Behind him, the waters of the Crimson Lake surge and condense into blade shapes, swirling in formation with his hammer. This is the boss's strongest skill, Roaring Waters. Dozens of Bloodwater blades converge and launch all at once. My expression hardens. I activate Rainstorm Bladestorm, the fastest attack skill I have. The Shadow Soul Longsword becomes a flurry of dark slashes, while the Bloodthirst blade hovers at my side to intercept incoming blades, but there are too many. I start to feel the pressure build. Damn it! I bite down and growl, ready to activate Phantom Step again to force my way through, but the energy cost of that would be brutal. In any one fight, I can only activate Phantom Step twice. If I burn it now, my energy will hit rock bottom, and the rest of the fight will be agonizing. Then a volley of arrows streaks in, Zane's shots powerful and precise, shattering a significant number of the Bloodwater blades. The pressure on me eases. I exhale with relief. I can save that precious energy for the final blow. I swing Rainstorm Bladestorm and surge forward, lightning crackling along the blade in my hand, the airborne Bloodthirst blade dropping into my other grip. Killing intent flows through my eyes. No more holding back. Left hand, Bloodthirst blade activating Thunder Rush sword art. Right hand, Shadow Soul Longsword activating Draw and Flash. 2 silver mid-grade sword arts activate simultaneously. A deafening sword cry rings out across the entire area. My figure becomes a streak of brilliant lightning. The blade light flashes, and both swords come down directly on the Crimson Armor Death Knight's skull. He crashes to both knees. The light leaves his eyes. Dark yellow blood pours out. It flows back and merges with the Crimson Lake behind him. In an instant, a voice rings through the minds of every player in the instance. Announcement: Hidden Boss defeated. A Sword Sovereign player has slain the Hidden Boss. Instance settlement begins. Congratulations to all players. Prepare to return home victorious. The commotion that erupts is like a bomb going off. No, impossible. How? What even is a hidden boss? We haven't even found the regular one, and someone already killed a hidden boss. Wasn't the first kill also a Sword Sovereign? It can't be the same person. He's got to be hacking the system. We haven't even finished grinding our levels. The instance has only been running for about 10 hours. This is beyond absurd. Who is this guy? Shock ripples through every player still in the field. Somewhere in the instance, a man in ornate gold armor grips a long-handled purple crystal hammer, his expression dark with fury. It's Daniel. He leads an elite squad of top newcomers, all of them personal bodyguards arranged by his family. Daniel himself is fully decked in gold tier gear. Since entering the instance, he's been scouring the map for the boss, planning to claim the kill and secure first place in one move. He barely touched any monsters along the way, but he couldn't even find the regular boss. And now someone's already taken down the hidden one. His entire strategy is in ruins. His plan is completely dead. Rage overtakes him. Damn it. How? Who? His voice shakes, and something else is gnawing at him. He hasn't been able to reach Agnes since last night. What happened to her? Meanwhile, settlement notifications cascade through my mind. Slain hidden boss. Crimson Armor Death Knight. All party members gain 6,292 XP each. I jump 2 levels straight to 16. Claudia hits 13. Zane reaches 12, almost 13. Riley surges from 7 all the way to 10. 3 levels in one go. If she wasn't gated by her class advancement quest, she might have pushed even further. Riley and Zane are both a little dazed. We actually did it. But why is there so much XP? A 4-person squad shouldn't get this much just from killing a boss. Claudia jogs over with a small smile. That would be my skill. Soul Resonance. It doubles all experience gained by the party. I walk calmly to the boss's body. The drops are substantial. Falling Tombblade skill scroll. Platinum lower grade. Soul Auxiliary Necklace. Platinum lower grade. Bloodfield Legion Summon skill scroll. Gold high grade. Soul Binding Decay Bow. Platinum lower grade. 40,000 won coins. Nearly everything is platinum tier. I don't deliberate long. 10,000 won coins each, distributed immediately. Everyone contributed. I use all ascension on everything. Almost all of it upgrades to platinum mid-grade, and the Crimson Death Knight summon jumps all the way to platinum high-grade. I scan through the item data. The Starlit Soul Necklace is exceptional, raises the cap on soul energy storage and increases absorption rate. I hand it straight to Claudia. She's the healer, constantly burning through soul energy. No one benefits from this more than her. Next, the Crimson Death Knight summon goes to Riley. Only her class can use it, and once learned, she can summon a Crimson Armored King Knight. The Soul Binding Decay Bow goes to Zane. His eyes tremble slightly, a flicker of emotion, as he accepts it and puts it away. Thank you, he says, and he means it. Thank you, Crest. From today on, you're my comrade. He knows full well that I carried this fight. He barely contributed any real damage, and yet I'm giving him a weapon like this. That's going above and beyond. I give a nod and say nothing more, turning to my own drop. Falling Tombblade, platinum mid-grade, summons a colossal stone sword to crash down from above, dealing massive damage. I crush the scroll to learn the skill, then raise my hand, and a massive jet black stone sword drops from the sky like a great tombstone, driving deep into the earth, ancient carvings running along its surface. Its weight alone could crush a monster flat. If the hidden boss were still alive, this would have shattered its armor on the very first strike. My mood lifts. This is my first platinum tier, active damage skill. Everyone's body starts to flicker and blur. Instant settlement complete. Departure imminent. Crest, call me for the next instance, Zane says, settling the bow across his back. Hey, Crest. Thanks for saving my life. We'll see each other again soon. Claudia waves with a bright laugh, and her figure fades away. Riley steps forward, brushes a strand of hair aside, and gives me a quiet smile. Then she's gone too. I'm pulled into a void space of my own. Endless lists unfurl, scores calculating rapidly, my total climbing. No damage clear of Scarlet Rock Cavern, speedrun bonus, first kill of the instance, perfect challenge bonus, final rating, S rank, title awarded, Rising Overlord, effect, all stats plus 15, all skill proficiency plus 10%, ranking settling, a leaderboard materializes before me, novice instance number 144, 10th place, Berserker Cody, level 7, 9th place, Cultivator Reggie, level 8, 8th place, all top 10 receive bonus rewards, first place rewards are especially generous, my expression is calm, I already know the outcome, first place is mine, reaching level 16 in a novice instance, something that has never been done before, and likely never will be again. Meanwhile, back at First High, every faculty member is glued to the leaderboard. What's going on? This novice instance wrapped up so fast? It's barely been a day. Something must have gone wrong. Rows of large virtual screens float around the room, showing faculty from every school across the neighboring cities. Every year, the novice instance is essentially a tournament. Educators from across the region gather to watch and compare results. A cold laugh comes from one of the screens. No need to look so shocked, First High. The reason this instance wrapped up so quickly is entirely thanks to our genius from Wuyang Third High, Lucas. I suggest you all make the most of this year's resources, because your Celestial Tower slots next year are looking uncertain. The speaker is Principal Harden of Wuyang Third High. The First High faculty bristle with anger at Principal Harden's jab, but no one has a comeback. They can't deny it. Lucas is the real deal. Grayson, however, remains composed. Whatever happens, he can't afford to look rattled. Principal Harden, nothing's been decided yet. There's no need to run your mouth. This year's field is exceptional, stronger than any in recent memory. A faster clear is only natural. But rushing to hand all the credit to your own student before the results are even final? That's a bit desperate, don't you think? Grayson's eyes narrow. Every word a blade. Say what you want, Principal Grayson. First place belongs to Wuyang Third High, and that's final. And it's not just Lucas. We have 2 9-star talent awakeners and several at 8-star. The confidence is warranted. Gentlemen, enough, an elderly professor cuts in. Strong talent is a blessing for all of humanity. There's no need to bicker over it. Let's watch the board. Grayson nods and turns back to the leaderboard. On the surface, unmoved, going toe-to-toe. Underneath, quietly uneasy. This year, First High needs at least 1 student in the top 3. That's what it takes to have a future here. Top 3. He's already started praying for it silently. And my name hasn't appeared on the leaderboard at all, so Grayson assumes I've either died in the instance or I've been hiding, too scared to fight. Either way, it means this student has almost no future ahead of him. He's already written me off